You're thinking about getting a Belgian Malinois as your first dog. You've seen the videos, the military training, the heroic takedowns, the perfect obedience, and you're captivated. There's something about the intensity in their eyes, the way they move like they were born with a mission. You think, if I give this dog love, exercise, and training, I'll be fine. But before you take that step, I want you to stop and hear this, because I've seen what happens when good intentions meet the wrong breed. And it's not just frustrating. Sometimes, it's devastating. Let's start with the truth. The Belgian Malinois is not just a dog. It's a working machine bred for war zones, protection details, and elite tactical work. This breed doesn't settle into family life like a lab or golden. It thrives on structure, intensity, and challenge. And when it doesn't get that, it doesn't just misbehave, it spirals. Chewed furniture becomes shattered drywall. Playful nips become redirected aggression. Energy becomes chaos. And love? Love alone doesn't stand a chance. Most first-time owners think they'll figure it out. They read a few training blogs, buy a Kong toy, maybe even hire a trainer for a few sessions. But a Malinois doesn't need sessions, it needs systems. Daily, hour-by-hour systems of mental work, impulse control, and purpose. This isn't a breed you can tire out with fetch or a jog. This is a dog that wakes up ready to go to war and gets more energized the more you challenge it. The moment you fall behind, or take a day off, they don't. I once met a man who got a Malinois puppy as his very first dog. He had a big yard, watched all the YouTube videos, even built a little agility course. He thought he was prepared. But by month 3, the puppy was dominating his home. Not out of malice, but out of drive. The dog was pulling down curtains, snapping at guests, and treating commands like background noise. It wasn't disobedient. It was bored. Under-challenged. Emotionally underfed. Eventually, that man gave the dog up, broken, ashamed, and feeling like he'd failed. But the truth is, he never stood a chance. He just didn't know what he was really getting into. The Malinois is a mirror. It reflects your energy, your leadership, your mental strength. If you're anxious, it becomes hypervigilant. If you're passive, it becomes controlling. If you're inconsistent, it becomes unstable. And if you think that structure and discipline are optional, this dog will teach you otherwise. The hard way. And here's something no one tells you. The Malinois doesn't just need training. It needs emotional clarity. It needs calm, assertive energy. It needs to know exactly what's expected of it at all times, and that you can back it up with confidence. That's not something first-time owners are used to. Most people have never had to earn a dog's respect before. But with a Malinois, respect isn't given. It's tested, over and over, every day. Another thing first-time owners don't expect? The mental toll. Constant vigilance. Constant engagement. Constant correction. It's not just physical exhaustion, it's psychological pressure. You're not just living with a dog. You're living with a storm that never fully sleeps. And if you let your guard down, even for a second, the dog doesn't go easy on you. It pushes harder. Because that's what it was bred to do. Now, don't get me wrong. In the right hands, the Belgian Malinois is extraordinary. Loyal to a fault. Fearless. Intuitive. Brilliant. It will lay down its life for you without hesitation. But to earn that bond, to unlock that version of the dog, you have to become someone new. Someone sharper, stronger, more present than you've ever been. And for a first-time owner, that transformation is often too much, too fast. I've talked to trainers who flat out refuse to place Malinois with inexperienced handlers. Not because they think you're unworthy, but because they've seen what happens when these dogs end up in the wrong homes. They develop anxiety. They lash out. They get rehomed, again and again, until they end up in a shelter labeled aggressive or unmanageable. But they were never broken. They were just misunderstood. Mishandled. Overwhelmed by love and underfed by leadership. So if you're still thinking about getting a Malinois as your first dog, I'll ask you this: are you ready to commit your lifestyle to this dog? Not just your love. Not just your money. Your lifestyle. Because that's what it takes. If you're not training them, they're training themselves. And if you're not leading them, they're taking over. That doesn't mean you can't become the kind of person who can handle a Malinois. But it means you need to be brutally honest with yourself before you start. Are you calm under pressure? Can you stay consistent when things get hard? Are you ready to be challenged every single day, not just by behavior, but by your own reactions? If the answer is no, or even maybe, then this might not be the dog for you. Not yet. There are other breeds that can help you become a better dog owner. Breeds that give you space to make mistakes, to learn, To grow without the pressure of a mental landmine waiting to explode. Start there. Build your experience. Build your confidence. And then, maybe, you'll be ready for the Malinois. Because this dog won't wait for you to catch up. And if you don't meet it where it is, the consequences can be severe. The Belgian Malinois is not your average companion. It's a purpose-driven powerhouse that demands respect, effort, and mastery. It will change your life, but only if you're ready. So before you fall in love with the idea, make sure you understand the reality. Because this dog doesn't just need a home. It needs a handler.